Hi, Maureen here for Do Till Church. This ukulele lesson is for my adult ukuleles. Before the pandemic started, we started working on a song called He Lives, Amen. This is a combination of Because He Lives by Matt Maher and Low in the Grave, what a great hymn we all know and love. So if you missed the rehearsal that we had for this, let me show you how to find that particular sheet. If you go to the music ministry page, you can click on this nifty little button called Ukulele Lesson Videos. That will take you to a new page. From here, you can find all of my other videos that are posted. But if you click on the Adult Ukuleles tab, that will take you to a new window, and you can find all of your chord sheets over here. You got a few bonus songs up there, as well as How Great Thou Art and He Lives, Amen. So if you need this one, that's how you can go and find it. So there are a lot of chords in this particular one, mainly because we're going to play some chords and then the 7 version of that. So anytime we're playing a 7 chord, it just means there are 4 pitches to it instead of 3. Triads have 3 pitches. So like when you play your G chord, 2 of those notes are exactly the same, making this a triad, 3 pitches. But if you go and play a 7 chord, we are making 4 pitches. That we are adding the 7th, which makes it a 4-note chord. So if you're looking at He Lives, Amen, we've got a G chord, which we know very well at this point. We have a C chord, which we know very well at this point. We all come to know and love that. We're going to talk about our E minor here in a minute. We have learned an A minor 7. The chord we need for this is an A major 7. So we'll be talking about our A chords here. At the bottom, you'll see we need a D, which we know, and we're going to talk about the D7. If you watched a previous video that I did on the G to the D7, you already know that it's super awesome and easy, but I will have to talk about going from D to D7. So let's get started. If you look at verse 1, we're doing G to D. That is a familiar thing for us. We did that in How Great Thou Art. At that point, once you're on the D, to add that particular tone that Low in the Grave has in the verse, we need to switch to a D7. So you're going to start with your G. You're going to go to your D. In order to get to your D7, all you need to do is pick up your middle finger. So you got your D, all 3 fingers. D7, we just pick up. And then you'll head back to your G. So you might say, wow, that's really hard. It is. It is hard to tell one finger to do one thing while the other ones are doing something else. So yes, I made that look easy, but that's because I play piano. So if you're struggling with that, just practice that on its own, trying to pick up the middle finger. It doesn't need to go like crazy in the air. It just needs to come off the string, even if it's fractional off the string. As long as that string can ring and make its pitch, then you're doing well. We also have an A7. We learned our A minor 7 is nothing. This is an A major 7. So this is actually very simple, so don't panic on me. I need you to put your your pointer finger, on your 2nd string, your C in the 1st fret, and nothing else. That is your A7 that you need for this. We also eventually need an A major chord. I believe we've done them. Here is your A major. So your A major is your middle finger, 2nd fret, 1st string, and your pointer finger on the 2nd string in the 1st fret. So that's your A major. Pick up your middle finger. And that one is your A7. And again, they're going to sound really similar. If your ear said, that doesn't sound different, that's okay. People really struggle to hear this difference between 7 chords and the regular triad. That is nothing new. So don't worry, you're doing just fine. You're going to see we have a lot of counts of 2 in this particular song, and you're really not going to like me once we hit the instrumental, because we're going from 2 counts of E minor to 2 counts of C to G. So there's a good amount of shifting that we're about to learn. But before we get to that, let's go through verse 1 and the chorus. So go ahead and find me your G chord, and let's go through verse 1. Just verse 1. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, G again, 2, 3, D, D, 2, D7, 2, G, 2, 3, roll back for the C, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, here's your A7, slide it up, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4. So you probably noticed that that is the verse from Low in the Grave. The next thing we're heading to is the chorus from Because He Lives. So it's time to learn a new chord. You're going to start with your C. In this particular instance, we need to play our C with our middle finger. Sometimes you play it with your ring, sometimes you play with your pointer. This one you definitely need to play with your middle finger. So remember, C is just your middle finger. This is your A string number 4. And we have our finger in the 3rd fret. To play your E minor 7, we're going to make a diagonal. So your pointer finger is going to go down on that string in the 2nd fret. Your middle finger is going to scoot over. It's on the E string in the 3rd fret. And you're going to reach with your ring finger to your C string in the 4th fret. So we're in a diagonal. It's a minor chord, so it doesn't sound nearly as happy as the chords we just played in the verse. So you're going from C to E minor, C to E minor. If you can play C kind of flat like I am, and then just roll forward, that makes it a little bit easier because your other fingers will almost fall into place as opposed to this, then hopping. So if you can play C a little bit flatter, that's great. If you can't because your hands won't allow you, that's okay as well. What's going to happen is because this starts to move a little bit faster, you may not be able to strum all of the counts until you're more familiar with these chords. So again, this is one of those, if you need to strum just number 1, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4. As long as you're maintaining the count, you don't need to strum all of the counts, because I understand this E minor is going to give you a little bit of trouble, especially when it starts moving at 2 counts. So what we're going to do, we're going to start on that first chorus. This is the chorus from Because He Lives. And we are going to play the chorus. We're going to go to the instrumental and to verse 2. This entire section is from Because He Lives by Matt Maher. So let's start with our C. We are in that chorus where it says Amen. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, 3, 4 to the E, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4 to the D, 2, 3. We're going to do it again. Back to C, to the E, 2, 3, 4 to the G, to the D. Go to the instrumental now. So you got E, 2, C, 2, G, 2. Remember, if you just need to strum one of them, go for it. E, 2, C, 2, G, 2. Verse 2. E, 2, C, 2, G, 2, 3, 4. E, 2, C, 2, G, 2, 3, 4. E, 2, C, 2, G, 2, 3, 4. C, 2, E, 2 to a D, 2, 3, 4, and stop. Out of this entire song, you're going to need to work on that particular section the most because it is by far the most challenging part. We really have only one part left to kind of get through, and that's the part that I've been waiting for. I love Low in the Grave. I love the chorus of it, so I'm pretty excited for Easter. We'll be singing it. It's hard to not try to sing along as you play this one. So if you want to sing along at home. I'm singing in my head. I'm just trying to count out loud at the same time. So for the chorus here, we just finished verse 2. This is the chorus from Low in the Grave. If you want, you can play the rhythms that we know exist in the hymn. I'm sticking with just straight strumming for the most part. I'll probably sneak a few in just for the fun of it. If you need to just strum normal, you strum normal. If you want to get fancy and throw the rhythm in, you throw the rhythm in. You're going to see that we do have a couple moments where things move in 2 counts. And it moves at a good click. So if you're looking at maybe the 3rd line, he arose a victor from the dark domain. We have 2 counts of E minor to a G for 2, to a C for 2. Here's that A that we talked about earlier, the 2 fingers for 2, to a D. So again, if the 2 counts become too quick for you, just strum 1 and then move on. You know the G and the C. The A is not hard, but flipping the A to the D can be a little bit tricky. So that is definitely one probably to watch for. So hopefully you're going to do just fine, but if not, just strum number 1 if that is easier for you. So we're going to go through the chorus together. Go ahead and find your G chord. We have 2 sets of G here. If you want to play the rhythm, go for it. If not, that's okay. Here we go. 1, 2, chorus, go. G, 2, 3, 4. G, 2, 3, 4. G for 2, C for 2, back to G, 2. We're going to that D7. D7, 2, 3, big flip to the E minor, to the G, C, A, D, 2, 3. Here's G, 2, 3. Roll back for the C, 2, 3. Back to G, 2, D, G, 2, 3, 4. So you probably just found out how tricky that is. If you did not watch the video on G and D7, one, I recommend you do it because that'll make the song a little bit easier for you. But just real quick, here's your G. All you're going to do is pick up this finger and hop over. You're here for G, pick up, move these 2 over, and that's your D7. It's a very simple move. And if you go and you practice with that video, it'll save you a ton, especially on this particular song. After that, things get familiar. Verse 3, it's the same chords we had back in verse 1. The chorus after that is the chorus we saw earlier for Because He Lives. The only other thing we get to see is the bridge. The bridge doesn't happen in hymns. So if you're not familiar with contemporary songs, a bridge is something new to you. A bridge is just something that sounds totally different than the verse and the chorus. It's there to add a bit of interest. A lot of songs build to a bridge or use a bridge to build and then it'll back off. So it's used to really create good moments in music that you wouldn't get if you just stuck with a verse and a chorus. So this one looks very similar to other things. We just have 2 counts of G, 2 counts of C, and 4 counts of D. Do notice you're going to sneak that E minor in that last line. After that, you have another chorus of Because He Lives, and we end with a chorus from Low in the Grave. So we're going to do the entire song because you're tired of me talking at you. So go ahead, and we're going to start at the very top of the first page. And when I put this one together for you, it just goes down the page. You're just reading it like a book, straight down. You don't need to jump back for anything. I made copies of everything so that you didn't need to jump back and forth on pages. So let's start right on verse 1, and we're heading all the way to the end of the song. All right, I hope you're ready. Here we go. This is G, verse 1. 1, 2, ready, go. G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D. Pick it up. Back to G. We're going to roll back for C. Now we're going back to G. Remember, 1 finger, A7. To our D. Remember, C with your middle. 2, 3, 4, E minor. G for 4, 2, 3, 4 to the D. We're going back to C with your middle finger. 2, 3, 4, E, G, 2, 3, 4, D. Go ahead and go to the instrumental now. You got E, 2, C, 2, G, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, C, 2, G, 2, verse 2. E, 2, C, 2, G, This one's in a different order. C, 2, E. Going to the D this time. 2, 3, chorus. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, C, 2, 1, 2. Here's your D7. 2, 3, 4. E, 2, G, 2, C, 2, A, 2, D, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, G, D7 to the G. Verse 3, G, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D, D7, G, roll back for the C. 2, 3, 4, G. Here's your A7, slide that pointer up. 2, 3, 4, D. We're headed to page 2. C, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, C with your middle. C, 2, 3, 4, E, G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2. We're on the bridge now. You got G, 2, C, 2, D, 2, 3. Do it again. G, 2, C, 2, D, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, C, 2, E, 2, D, 2, C for 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The next chorus stays on C, 2, 3, 4, E, G, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, G, 2, 3, 4, D. Here's the chorus for Low in the Grave. G, 2, 3, 4, G, G, 2, C, 2, G, 2, 3, 4, D7, 2, 3, 4 is your E to the G, C, A, D, 2, 3, 4, G, C, G, 2, D, G, 2, 3. We do it one more time for the end. D7, G. So I snuck a few of those rhythms in for you at the end. Again, you don't need to do them, but let's face it, it's Low in the Grave. It's a little more fun if you play all the fun stuff that does happen. Well, I hope that you enjoy working on this one. It's super fun to play. It's really hard to not sing while I make this recording. So I hope that you enjoy it. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you next time. Have a great rest of your day.